Hey, this is Blake from the Gig Harbor Fly Shop, and today we are tying the Marabou Clouser. And the Marabou Clouser is a really easy fly to tie. The traditional Clouser is tied with bucktail instead of Marabou. It's also tied with just a lot of synthetic materials these days. It's become more of a style of fly than an actual pattern. But for sea run cutthroat trout in Puget Sound, we like to use Marabou because we tie these claws so small that there's a lot of movement to it, and it just ends up being a really effective fly in several different colors. It's a great fly for salmon too, especially for pinks, resident coho, etc. So today for materials, we're tying on a 2546 Daiichi size 6. I kind of feel like a broken record sometimes, just because it's such a great hook that we use. A broken record. Okay, so for everyone under the age of 40, you probably don't even know what a record is. Anyways, Marabou. We got white Marabou, and then we're gonna put olive Marabou over the top of it. We're gonna use a 5/32 dumbbell eye, and so remember with this fly, you want to have the light color on the top of the fly, the dark color on the bottom of the fly, because the eyes are tied on the top of the hook, which inverts the hook. So the fly will ride this direction in the water. It will not ride this direction. You want the light color on the bottom because that is what fish in the natural world of water look like. Light on the bottom, dark on the top. So we got a little bit of flash in here as well. There's some Mirage Flashabou flash. There's some angel hair peacock in the middle as well. One of the things I'm going to just put on as a little bit extra is a couple strands of Ripple Ice Fiber in olive just over the top because I love that stuff. It's great. So here we go. Okay, first to attach the eyes, we're going to put the eyes on first at the front of the hook. And if you have a long shank hook and the eyes are closer to the eye, it's going to affect how the fly dips and dives. If it's further back on the hook, it's going to ride more smooth on the retrieve. But we just want to latch these eyes on here with a series of figure eights. And I watch just to make sure that they're even, and you can put more than one wrap in a particular area. And then I'll make figure eights under the bottom, and it grabs those different thread wraps and kind of pulls everything and cinches it in place. And so I just alternate it between going over the top and then going underneath. And you just want to get it to where they don't move. Usually what I do is I hit it with Loon UV Flow when I'm done, just so it all stays in place. So okay, so I'm going to start with my white first. Okay, here's my white Marabou, and I'm just going to pull off half of the feather. I'm going to use a little bit more than that, actually. So now you want to have the length correct on this because it has a natural taper to the fibers. You don't want to cut Marabou, so you can kind of pluck at it to break it off to shorten it up, but this is definitely not a material that you want to take the scissors to. So now behind the eyes, we'll take the thread wraps back a little bit. It'll keep that material from fouling up and wrapping around the hook. Clean up the head there a little bit. I'm going to spin the hook over. If you don't have a rotary vise, you'll just have to take it out of the jaws and replace it. And here's where the angel hair is going to come into play. We don't need a lot. just a little bit. It's long fibers, so I just pull out a couple of them and chop them to shorten them up. Then I'm going to fold it over. It's okay if it's a little bit messy. And then I'll take the flash and I'm going to just take probably one strand of flash, tie this in. Synthetics can always be cut later too. Okay, now for the olive. And I'm just gonna strip the bottom of the feather. And that's gonna be on the top. You can vary the lengths of the Marabou too to match the hatch. Essentially, you can go a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. Okay, ripple ice fiber. I'm not using a lot. These fibers are a little bit longer, and I'm just going to tie in a couple on the top. You could also take peacock herl and put peacock herl over the top too. That's another way I like to tie this one. Just cleaning up the head with a bunch of thread wraps to make it look nice. Quick little whip finish, done. Marabou Clouser is going to ride this direction though.